chapters 1 and 2 talk in general about cost and management accounting. One of the things you have to realize is that the course is called Cost and Management Accounting. And it is because there are two very separate sections, major sections of this course. The first section of the course will deal with what is called cost accounting, and the second part of the course will deal with what is called managerial accounting. You have had GSB701, which deals with financial accounting. From that you must have known that financial accounting has existed for over 5,000 years. On the other hand, cost accounting came into existence only after the Industrial Revolution. The Industrial Revolution led to mass manufacturing, and one of the biggest accounting issues that arose was how to cost the product being manufactured. And a whole discipline called cost accounting developed to answer that question. It is very important to determine the cost per unit for managerial purposes, for setting prices, for finding out profitability and so on, but it is also an essential number to prepare financial statements for manufacturing companies. So most of the first few chapters in this course are devoted to cost accounting. Later on, we will talk about managerial accounting. What managerial accounting does is provide accounting information to managers of all different kinds within an organization so that they can make their decisions. So in that part of the course, we are going to study things like cost, volume, profit analysis, variance analysis, profitability ratios, and other topics like that. Chapter 1 is pretty easy reading, and I don't want you to read it in great detail. There are only a couple of things that I want you to concentrate on. The first notion is that of cost accounting. Accounting is not the boring green eye-shade pencil behind the ear discipline that most people think of it. Accounting is really an information discipline. It is an information system. Like any system, there are inputs, there are processes, and there are outputs. In cost accounting, the inputs are the cost data, the processes are the various types of analyses that we do, the output are various accounting reports and financial statements that we develop. There is one additional aspect to an accounting information system though, compared to most systems, and that is the existence of a user in this chain. And that user is the user of accounting information. So please think about accounting as an information system. Now, within the accounting information system, there are various subsystems. One of those is the financial accounting subsystem. Then there is a cost management system. The cost management system is further broken up into a cost accounting system and a management costing system. So it is an information system. The second thing that I want you to pay very close attention to is near the end of the chapter where they talk about the ethical responsibilities of cost accountants. There is an organization called the Institute of Management Accountants, which is the professional body that represents cost accountants, and there is a code of ethical conduct for managerial or management accountants. I want you to pay close attention to the standards and the various attributes of the 4 standards of ethics, because I will be testing on those. Going on to chapter 2, we start talking about basic cost concepts. One of the things that I would strongly suggest to you is to make up a list of all the different costs that we are going to encounter throughout the semester, because it is very easy to not precisely remember what each cost means. In general, cost is defined as the economic sacrifice incurred or the economic resources foregone to obtain an asset. But then there are always qualifiers to other types of costs. So for instance, costs incurred in the manufacturing division are called production costs or product costs. Costs incurred in any other part of the company that is non-manufacturing or non-production are called non-production costs or period costs. Okay. So, like I said, cost accounting developed because of mass manufacturing. So in chapter 2, we are also going to look at how the income statement is developed for a manufacturing company. And you will come across terms like cost of goods sold and cost of goods manufactured. And let me define those for you very precisely. For a manufacturing company, cost of goods sold is the sum of all production costs and only production costs incurred on the units that were sold in the current period, regardless of when the units were produced or when the costs were incurred. Then there is something called cost of goods manufactured. Cost of goods manufactured is the sum of all production costs incurred on the units that were completed in the current period, regardless of when the production costs were incurred or when the units will be sold. You will find these concepts easier, you'll find these concepts useful as you go along looking at the construction of an income statement for a manufacturing company. I also want to tell you that there are three basic types of production costs. There are direct material costs, there are direct labor costs, and there are manufacturing overhead costs. Direct material costs are the cost of the materials that are physically incorporated into the end product, they are physically traceable to the end product, and they are significant in value. Direct labor is the cost of the labor performed directly on the units of output that are significant in value. And finally, there is a multitude of other costs that are incurred in a factory. For instance, electricity costs and utility costs, depreciation expense, salaries of managers, factory accounting, factory payroll, factory cafeteria, production planning and scheduling. All those are production costs, but they are classified as manufacturing overhead costs.